I've always said you don't look backwards, you look to the future. But before we get into the next chapter of your extraordinary life, I do want to touch a little bit on what Alibaba did over the last 2 decades. Forbes magazine was the first magazine to do a full cover story on you when you were just getting underway. At the time, you had about 150 on staff. Today, I think it's over 100,000 people are working with Alibaba and its affiliates. And what you have done is extraordinary. First of all, I have to ask before we get to what you did with Alibaba, I do have to ask if it is true that you defeated Jet Li in a martial arts contest. I just have to get that out of the way.
It's impossible. But only in the movies it is possible.
And it happened in a movie. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's just a movie, and I tried to make a movie for fun and show my respect to all the martial artists, because I learned a lot about business. I learned a lot, in my life from martial arts. So I want to show my respect to those players. And the movie was designed that finally they win all of me. But I don't know for whatever reason, when the movie finished, they edited that I win all of them. So
that's why I think you are now a publisher. You can then influence what they write about you. Editing is very important.
Thank you.
But before we get to your new role as a full-time philanthropist, let's have just a few words about Alibaba, because what you achieved there is not just a company's success, but you empowered literally millions of entrepreneurs in China and around the world, including the United States, enabling people to sell business to business, business to consumers, and enabling businesses to get the financing to succeed. What you've done with Alipay is phenomenal in terms of enabling people who couldn't get financial resources to expand. You did it in a way where they didn't have to go to the traditional banking system, which wouldn't have paid attention to them anyway, but you enabled them to get resources and thrive. The data system that you built up enabled you to judge very quickly in a way that others could not. Who is creditworthy and who isn't creditworthy? And if an individual is creditworthy or a small business is creditworthy, they would get the resources to be able to move ahead. In that sense, you are one of the greatest liberators in history, enabling people who wanted to do things, do commerce. You gave them the means to do it. So just walk us quickly through your vision when you started Alibaba and what you've done with Alipay. I think alone should give you won't get it, but you should get the Nobel Prize. Maybe we have to invent a new prize. But it was an extraordinary empowerment vehicle. Walk us quickly through your vision when you started Alibaba.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve, for my great honor to get this honor. Well, when I started Alibaba in 1999, I want to share some of the things. At first, we believe in the future. And I believe in internet can empower a lot of people. It's not Jack Ma helped so many people. It's the entrepreneurships, the spirit of creating, the spirit of constructive advice and device. And also very, very important is that we believe technology will help people for a better future. So we try to be creative. We try to solve problems. When people complain, we don't complain. We think about complaining of the other people is always a great opportunity. If we can solve the complaining and then we have the solutions, then we have the future. So we do Alibaba because we believe in there are so many small businesses don't know when and how, where they can sell the products. So we help them to promote their products. We have the payment because no banks at that time love to help small business and they don't know how to help a small business. We know if we don't have a payment, our e-commerce is just a talk on the line. It's just a chat online. So we have this payment. And then we find if we cannot help you to deliver efficiently and quickly, then there will be no way. So we built up the logistics system. And then we find a lot of companies don't know how the technology, especially small business. They don't know how to use the internet. The internet service is too expensive for them. So we say, all right, let's build up the cloud computing. So every small business can using cloud computing, internet technology cheaply and efficiently. So it's all about solving problems. So I think this is what we did in the past 20 years. We always think about what we can do to solve the social problems instead of complaining. That's the journey, and I am having great fun when you really help people, when you see millions of people change their lives because the efforts that we work together. And one of the other thing I want to do is say, I tell my 18 founders in my apartment, 1999, February 21. I said, if Jack and us, 18 people, if we can be successful, 80% of the Chinese young people can be successful because we don't have money, we don't have rich father, powerful uncle, and we believe the future. If we work together, if we have a long vision, if we work day and night, we will make it. And that's 20 years. We never forget about that and keep on working. And that's how we made it. Thank you.
Well, just on Alipay, you process more payments a day than MasterCard.
I think so. I think we are probably, I don't know, but transaction-wise, we'll probably do more than Visa plus MasterCard. And the thing I feel proud, the thing I feel proud is not about the technology, it's not about the transactions, it's not about the money. It's about the credit system that we're building up, that we can help more people, more small business. And the other thing is, most of the traditional financial system, they go from top to the bottom. Rich people first, and then poor people. But the Alipay, we grow from poor people. Rich people don't trust it. They think, I don't use a mobile phone to pay. Poor people, they tried it, they love it, they benefit from it. So this is like a very, very inclusive. We feel that the financial system for 21st century should be inclusive, should empower people. We don't call ourselves fintech. We call ourselves techfin. Difference between fintech and techfin. Fintech is to empower financial institutions, make them more powerful. But techfin is to empower every individual. Every people have the rights to reach the money they need. Not every financial system. They want to invest or give the money to the people they think they are good. So this is what we are empowering people, empowering small business, young people, and women. That's all we feel proud about.
You make a very good point about properly done machines liberate people because they don't let personal opinions or prejudices or ignorance get in the way of a decision. Describe your 3-1 system of lending where in a matter of minutes somebody can get a loan, even a tiny loan, and within a second. Describe that.
Well, what Alipay, the technology make happen is that I feel proud. That is, every day we have $50 billion transactions, and we have for almost 16 years, since the first day to now, we don't have even 1 cent mistake. We have got, for Alibaba Group, we got over 300 million hacking attacks per day. Every day. But we do it, we deal it, we don't have even one problem. It's not because how smart people are, it's how smart technology are. My philosophy, my believing early days, we do not call it artificial intelligence, AI, we call it AI, Alibaba intelligence. When you love somebody or like somebody, you don't have reasons. But when you hate somebody, there's a reasons. When you want to do bad things to the other people, there's a logic. When you have logic, machine can do better. We teach machine how to catch the bad guys. Because no matter how smart you are, if you think about the 10 ways of cheating, you are already a genius. So we teach machine all the way people cheating. Machine remembers over millions of ways of cheating. So when we start the cheating, machine knows you are cheating. So in this way, we are protecting all the technology. But also we collect all the data of people behaving. I told Steve that give my data to machine. I trust machine more than trust the people. I give my data to people. I worry about that. People say, this is Jack Ma, I want to know about. Machine don't care your Jack Ma, Jack Lee. Machine cares whether you do good things or bad things. So we're using the machine technology and called 310. So powerful. We give loans to over 13 million small business loans past 2 years. And you can borrow money for 1 minute. I just want to borrow money for 1 minute. Banks want you borrow the money for 1 year, 2 years. We say, well, not necessarily everybody want to borrow 1 year or 2 years. You can borrow 1 minute. You can borrow $1. That's scared of the banks. But the worst is that we're giving 310. We're giving you, if you apply within 3 minutes, we will tell you whether we'll give you loan or not. How much money we'll give. 1 second, the money will be account. 0 people touch. All machine do that. And this is make our system so efficient. And this is called 310 and solving millions of small business loans problem.
One of the things that you've said is that being an entrepreneur, you say you don't try to persuade successful people or companies because they already think they know what they're doing. Walk us through that.
Yeah, the most difficult thing in this world is to convincing a successful people to listen to you. Right? I never try to convince a successful people. I try to convince those people who want to be successful. One of the reasons why Alibaba succeed when we compete with eBay, they think they have a successful model in America. So they do their thing. For me, I think it's impossible to convince those people who are 30, 35 years old at the time because they think they're successful. And we start to convincing those people who are 18 years old to 20 years old, those people who are not successful. They want to try. They don't care about $10, $5, they want to try. So to convincing those people who want to be successful, you work with them, grow up with them, develop with them, suffer together with them. It's very. And also I think very, very important is that trust the young people. I trust young people more than trust senior people, successful people. Because there's no expert of the future. There's only expert of yesterday. We are entering into the century in the world that is so new. Working with the young people, you're talking about the future. Working with most of the successful people, they only talk about yesterday. And when you're talking to those people, always talk about yesterday, you don't have the future. That's what we think.
Now, stepping down from Alibaba, you've said you want the company, which is now about 20 years old, to go on for 102 years. You explain you started in 1999, which was 1 century. We're now in the 21st century. 102 years would get you into the 21st century. You would span 3 centuries, a good thing. We at Forbes like 102 because we're 102 years old this year.
Wow.
Although we only spanned 2 centuries, so we've got another 100 to go or so. But one of the things you felt calm about in terms of stepping down is you believe you've established a culture, a system at Alibaba that can survive you. Walk us through your thinking on that and your insights in how does a company create a culture that is constantly renewing itself instead of becoming stagnant.
Yeah, this is Really, really important. I think most of companies easily get old, but never get long, get successful. So I've been watching when I started my business, and it was tough 5 years. One of my venture capitalists, he had a talk with me. He said, Jack, I don't think you are qualified as CEO. He means that you should leave and change another CEO. And I say, yes, I will, but not today, because the company was in trouble. One day I will leave. Since that day, I start thinking about who is the right person that can do better than I am. That was the day I started thinking. When Alibaba 10th anniversary, that day I started to think, I should prepare for my retirement. I think that day I decided my 20-year anniversary, year 2019, September 10th, will be the day I leave. Because if I really believe in 102 years, that's the mission, that's the vision we have, you have to take action. You have to put it, you say it, you do it. So in past 10 years, we try to build up a system that have the right leaderships. You should never have a copy of Jack Ma. One Jack Ma is too much for the company, for the future, because this guy is crazy. I mean, think about this and that. We need a system that can create, can make, and can discover, can train a lot of leaders. So we have our partnership, Alibaba partnership. Our partnership is different from the partnership of legal firms and investment banking. We design our partnership. How we did that? I went to one of the famous American companies. Today, they're almost gone. I joined their board meeting. It was very interesting, all very important people. And when they ask a question, are you going to make a decision on that? They all come back and ask their lawyer, what do you think? The lawyer said, So everyone said, okay, we will discuss. So nobody make decision. And I know someday Alibaba will be that. And how can I avoid that? So we built up the partner system. And I have so confidence today that we, Alibaba today, not only have Daniel, Eric, we have a lot of leaders. And we also we strengthen our value, mission, and vision. Alibaba to survive today is not for money. Money is important. Money is the resources to keep the company's mission, vision, and value. And very important is to making sure the company can always keep the mission, helping doing business easier, to empower every small business and individual. So that's the whole thing. Past the 10 years, I speak every minute, every year, every month, training people, and now I think we are ready. I will not say it's perfect, but Jack Ma will get old. Jack Ma will get stupid. Jack Ma will get sick, a car accident, or whatever reasons. But the company should never depend on Jack Ma. Company should depend on a system for leadership, a culture, people. And that is what we believe. And this is what we learn from those great companies in America, those great companies in Japan. It's the culture, it's the people, it's the system that keep the company last 102 years. It's not only one person, that we think.
Now, all companies say, we believe in people, that's the key to success. Making it a reality is quite something else. Alibaba, among other things, is a high-tech company, obviously. Yet you're different from other companies, especially in high-tech, in the number of women you have, not just in your workforce, but in your top management. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's the secret sauce of Alibaba's success, that we have 34% of the senior leadership of Alibaba are women. We almost had 47% of the employees are women. And because we acquire a lot of companies with more men than women, so now we're going down. But we'll go up again. I think it's very difficult to convince women your vision and mission and value. Very difficult. Men, easy. But when you successfully convince women the vision, they stick to it. They're loyal to it. Women, easy go. Men, easy come, easy go. So that's the balance. It's not easy for the company in the past 20 years. It was such like it's a terrible period of our company, but all those women stay, fight for the things they believe in. And also, I believe computers are very cold, but the people behind the computers should be warm, kind-hearted, careful people. Women do better jobs. Women care others much more than men. Even today, more than 60% of the shoppers on Alibaba, they're women. But they buy things for their husband, for their parents, for their kids. Men only buy for themselves. Right? So, I think Alibaba, men, when they're under pressure, they talk about profit, they talk about competition. Women talk about, let's sit and talk. Let's stick to our mission. Let's stick to our value. I'm very thankful. Because they always said if there's successful men, there is a successful women, powerful women. I have a lot of powerful women standing behind me. And I'm always thankful for them. And I'm believing in 21st century, if we have more women leaders, the world will be much more peaceful.
Now, another thing you have observed, you have a lot of smart people, but you say there's a difference between smart and wise. Tell us about that.
Yeah. The difference between smart people know what they want, and wise people know what they don't want. So I have a lot of smart people. It's difficult to deal with smart people. Very difficult. It's easy to deal with stupid people. They go to the toilet, they go to the restaurant together. But smart people, it's all different. But what we need, a company is not a farm. My company is a zoo. We have all kinds of animals. People talk, people never talk, people work hard, people never work. I mean, this is amazing ecosystem of the company. That makes the company very, very powerful and colorful. I feel happy with that. And a leader is not the proof you are smarter than the others. A leader's job is to making sure everybody giving their smart ideas out. You listen to them, and sometimes you make a stupid decision because you have to balance. You have to believe in the future. It's not smart people win. It's the wise people win and for the future. So this is what I believe. We need more wise people. A leader's smart. Machine will be always smarter than you are. But machine can never be wiser. Smart people using brain. Wise people using heart. Machine don't have heart. Machine only have chips. So this is what I think. Human beings should always learn to be wise. To say no. To know what you don't want. That's my view.
Now, you've pointed out that you've had turnover in your company, and it's usually because of smart people, not wise people.
Yeah, I think I'm so proud that we have so many smart people in this company, and also so proud in the past 20 years we make these smart people learn how to be a human, how to care. Most smart people want to win. And we want to make smart people learn how to live like a human, how to care others, how to do things for the others. And when they learn that, when smart people learn how to care others, how to care future, how to be a human, then the company become warm, smooth, and soft power. Otherwise, you have a group of gangsters.
Wow. Before we get to philanthropy, we just should emphasize again, you've probably done more to nurture private enterprise in the private sector in China and indeed aiding it in other countries than just about any other entity in the world because of what you've done, payment system, enabling people to buy easily with each other. In America, you go use your services even if you're very small. You don't have a legal department. You could use you and be trading with China and other parts of the world. Amazing. Well, this then gets to your next phase, your next 55 years, and you're focusing on education. And one of the points you make is that the system we have today, sitting in a classroom, passively receiving wisdom, you say that is industrial age education and it must change. Walk us through your vision of what you hope to do in the education field.
Okay. Yeah, I've been asking myself, people like me failed again examinations. I failed my exams for good primary school. I failed exams in the key middle schools. And I failed 3 times for entering universities. I tried for jobs for over 30, all rejected. People look at the diploma. Where are you from? They judge you by the diploma. People like me today, if I try to apply job in Alibaba, it's almost impossible. They think, hey, we have got a group of people from Harvard, a group of people from, Stanford, and you are from nowhere. And I was thinking about people I found a lot of entrepreneurs like me. I have 2 great young people. One of them was the early founders of Alipay. The other was early founders of Taobao. And they want to go to the MBA. I don't like the MBA. Most of the MBAs, I don't like it.
And Taobao was your commerce.
Yeah. Yes.
Internet companies.
Yeah, internet companies. So they want to join the MBA school, so I called my MBA school, so yeah, please, I've got 2 people recommend, because they wanted me to recommend. I said, these 2 guys go. So they go, they took a test, both failed. They turn back. And I say, what? And then I called the president and say, what's wrong? He said, these guys cannot even pass the exams for math. They're not good at taking exams. I say, sir, if they're good at taking exams, they will never be entrepreneurs. Right? Most of entrepreneurs, because they're schooling bad, they become business people. So I was thinking about the way today, most of the things we teach our kids, the way we teach our kids are in the past 200 years. For industrial period, in industrial revolution, you have to remember faster, you have to remember more, you have to calculate faster. These are things machine can do much better than you are. Artificial intelligence come, you lose your job. You don't have a chance to win. So that is something I worry about. 20, 30 years later, our kids will never be able to survive because of the education we teach the kids. I think a lot of things we should do to change the education system, to improving the content, what we should teach our kids. It's too late for us, but it's never too late to change the way. We should teach our kids to be human, to independent thinking. When hundreds or tens of oceans of information come, people don't know how to make a judgment. We teach our kids independent thinking. We teach our kids to survive in the digital period. We teach our kids to how to be innovative, constructive, and creative so they can survive in the AI period. That is, I think, I want to do more things about that. And it is important. It is important. There are a lot of problems, but there are solutions. A lot of complaints, that's the opportunity. We have to do it.
Well, this gets to something George Gilder, a technologist, said decades ago. He said the microchip should do to the human brain what machines did for human muscle. Human muscle will never match a bulldozer or anything like that. It's a tool.
Yeah.
The chip is a tool. Do you have some ideas on how we can educate differently, because we don't all learn the same way? You make a very good point about the industrial way of education. We've always thought it's always been taught, you sit in a classroom, you receive the wisdom. Actually, the modern system began in Prussia, which later became part of Germany 200 years ago, and the system was designed to take children and turn them into good soldiers and good bureaucrats, following orders. And that became the predominant system in the world. Talk us about how you see maybe, when you look at the Greeks, when you look at the philosophers, they didn't sit in classrooms. You see that they are walking when they're having those dialogues and discussion. Do you have some ideas on how you going to change the old paradigm of industrial?
Yeah, I think that's. I just retired. I think next year, I have already tested. I built up a kindergarten already. I built up a primary school, a middle school, and I also been working with the teachers in the rural areas for 5 years. So I got our ideas, but still I need another year to think it through, to visit more countries, more schools, more teachers. But I think one thing for sure, you never learn wisdom from classroom. Wisdom, you only learn from life, and tough life. Philosophy, because you lose so much time, then you become philosopher. In the classroom, you only learn the knowledge. But life is about experience. And the other thing, very important, I think the society today, the world, the internet, it's more about classroom. Young kids, the way they get the knowledge is so different from the way us. And I think if I want to teach people more, I said, not necessarily math is important, physics is important. If you are interested in that, that's very important. But music is important. Physics, teamwork is important. Painting is important. Dancing is important. Because when you sing, when you dance, those people sing, dance, painting with the heart. They are the artists. They are the people. They don't use brain, they use heart. So I want people, when you know the music, you know how to solve the problems when you face. Because music, you connect to the soul, connect to the heaven. When you have a painting, you have the imagination. When you have dancing, you know the rhythm. So these are the things. And we should teach people a lot of things, the human knowledge. So I think I want people to do more things on that. And also the sports. One of the things that in the first 5 years, Steve, in my company, I always giving the case studies of failure companies to every of my people. Today, the thing I want to share more with the young entrepreneurs is how many mistakes we made, how many companies bankrupted, why they bankrupted. I never teach like MBA teach people how they succeed, how that one succeed. When young people learn that too much, they think they can easily succeed. Going into business is like going to battlefield. Only those people survive win. And you know how to avoid stupid action. So when you learn the mistakes, the failure cases, not to avoid mistakes, but when you meet these mistakes, you know how to face it, how to solve it, how to challenge it. So it's all bad. This is called wisdom. We should teach our kids.
Now, next month you're going to be visiting Africa, where you're going to be personally giving out the first Alibaba Netpreneur Award. You tell us a little bit more about this and how you think this approach may do more for Africa than all the top-down programs of the past in enabling that continent to realize its full potential?
Yeah, I think entrepreneurs are the most important element to promote, to develop a society. And I think entrepreneurships are the very constructive points and elements of the society. In Africa, I think we need 3 E's. E-government, make the government transparent. Entrepreneurs, make them the heroes. Education, make the people know what they want and what they don't want. And as entrepreneur in Africa, I went to Africa 4 years ago. Before I went there, I think I know a lot about Africa. When I arrived there, I was surprised. I know so little about Africa. And I promised myself, in 10 years, I will visit every country in Africa. So I visited 5 countries, at least every trip to Africa in the past 4 years. And I think what I can do is to empower the young people, young entrepreneurs. I went to Kenya and met some of the young entrepreneurs. They are so smart. They are so good, much smart than Jack Ma in 1999. They all have mobile phones. And the thing is, the entrepreneurs in Africa are so different from entrepreneurs in most of the other countries. Most entrepreneurs in the other countries, they do entrepreneur, they want to go IPO. These people, they want to change Africa. They want to change their lives. And when I was starting my business, nobody helped us. Very few people. Today, I think I have the capability. I have the money. I have the resources. And I want to go there, empower the entrepreneurs. If we can be able to discover and help more Jack Ma's, more Bill Gates, more Warren Buffett's, more Steve's, Africa will be different. That's what I think. It's my great honor to be there and do something. May not be successful, but at least we tried. Well, that's what I want to go.
And one of the things that would help Africa is the women who do a lot of the work there, but legally, culturally, some countries won't even allow you to open a bank account if you're a woman. Own land.
We will make them an Alipay account. This is what we did. And in India, the Prime Minister said, Jack, we have so many people in India don't have the bank account. How can we help? We do by payment. The Paytm, we invested, we give the technology. So many people have the mobile payment. In Africa, if we want to open a bank account, impossible using traditional ways. The other thing is women. This time, I'm going to give, Jack Ma Foundation is going to give in 10 awards to 10 entrepreneurs. We say at least 3 of them have to be women. Women leaders. We got so many great young women entrepreneurs in Africa. And we want to make entrepreneurs in Africa heroes. And they are the heroes. We have to make them heroes.
By the way, the country in the world other than China that is far ahead in digital currency and transactions and banking is Kenya, which is amazing. Again, that entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
In putting your foundation together, have you looked at other foundations to try to find models or what you can learn from them, like the old Rockefeller Foundation, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation? How are you approaching the Jack Ma Foundation, creating it?
Yeah, I past 5 years, one of the key things that I'm doing for prepare for my retirement is not only focusing on developing my people, it's developing my hobbies, my passions after retirement. If I don't have hobbies, if I don't have my retirement after the next chapter plan, I think when I get bored, I will go to squeeze Daniel and his team. So when I have more fun, I say, don't push me, keep on going, right? So I'm prepared for the one that is, I study a lot of foundation. Rockefeller's amazing. Bill Gates, I supported him, he supported me. We just had a talk just last week about the climate changing and his health projects in Africa. I'm telling him my entrepreneur project. I'm telling about the education project. So we communicate a lot. And this is what I want to do. I remember almost 10 years ago, Bill and Warren Buffett came to China and said, Jack, can we pledge, give the money out to the society, to the other people, to the foundation? And I said, no. First, China, I don't think it's a good idea. China, in 1950s, all the business people give money to the government. And the economy going down. Today, as entrepreneurs know, that's not your money. If you have $1 million money, that $1 million, that's your money. If you have $20 million, you have a problem. But inflation, invest in stocks or buy land. When you have $1 billion, that's not your money. That's the society's trust. They believe you can spend the money better than the others. You have to spend the money in a smarter, better ways. So I told Bill and Warren Buffett, I want to use the money to create more jobs. I want using this money to do the things that is more philanthropic than just giving the money. By the way, I asked Warren, now Warren, you give money to Bill, and Bill start to operate the foundation for you. Who should I give money to in China? Red Cross? Who should I give? I realized China, there is no such a system for philanthropy foundation. And one of my visions, Jack Ma Foundation, should learn and build up a system. Because I believe China one day, hundreds of thousands of business people will build up their own charity or philanthropy foundation.
So you're creating a philanthropic structure.
I need giving them the mistakes I made, how that I can share. So you, American, Europe, a lot of countries have such a long history of building a foundation. China, just to begin. So we need a system. We need a way. And I will be the guy to test that and share with them. This is also one of the missions for my foundation.
In the first issue of Forbes magazine 102 years ago, my grandfather said, the purpose of business is to produce happiness, not to pile up money. And you seem to exemplify that. How do you see the role of the corporation, the business today? You had some thoughts on that.
You mean the corporation?
In a business in terms of profit, customers, people who work there.
I've been seeing again, this is not I said today, I said in the almost 18, 20 years. In my company, value number one, customer first, employee second, shareholder third. And this is, I talk to every shareholder. I remember when I IPO'd in New York Stock Exchange, I made a speech to all the shareholders who want to buy our stocks. I say, my believing is customer one, because if the customer happy, employee happy, shareholder will be happy. So shareholder number three, one of the shareholders said, if I know that, I will never buy your stocks. I say, please sell all the stocks. I tell you, this is truth. Because I think if our customer not happy, how can they give us the money? If our employees not happy, how can they be creative and constructive? If the customer employee not happy, how can the shareholder be happy? You'll be cheated. And also, I said, don't believe in the long-term shareholder. There's no long-term shareholders. There's no. They just to tell you I will be long-term holder. When problems comes, they run faster than you are. There is only two kinds of people stay with you all your life. Your colleagues. If you serve your customer well, they will follow you all the time. Or you follow them all the time. Shareholder, they don't follow. They cannot follow. If they follow you all your time, they are not good shareholders. That's what I think. Most of them, but not all of them, of course.
Well, with that, Jack Ma, thank you very much, and I think you've exemplified why you won this award. Thank you.
Thank you.